MikeBirchFord.com. Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup. Jessup Premium Storage, 1455 South 1st Street is Jessup's best place to store your valuables. Whether it's furniture between moves or just a place for the overload, call Jessup Premium Storage at 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage units are indoors, climate controlled, and they have 24-hour surveillance and on-site management. You have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to your unit. Sizes range from 5x5 to 10x25. They also have outside covered and uncovered spaces available for vehicles, boats, trailers, and RVs. Jessup Premium Storage on the Waycross Highway in Jessup.
At Broadhurst Landfill, keeping our communities safe is the most important thing we do. Our local team of environmental managers, engineers, and scientists ensure that the long-term management of the landfill is safe for our workers, customers, and the environment. To learn more, visit our website at www.broadhurstlandfill.com, or you can go to the website, click Visit Us, and sign up for a tour to see firsthand how we operate. We hope to see you soon.
Tired of getting lured into a dealership based on deals that don't exist when you get there? 2017 F-150s are up to $10,000 off at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, where we always do what we say we're going to do. And credit problems are no problem. Stop the search. Call Mike Birch.
And good morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jessup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Big Dog Country, halfway through the month, 15th day of June, Thursday morning. Butch Shepard here with you. Thank you very much for waking up and tuning in with the Big Dog. Well, looking for weather today, kind of like the last couple of days, partly sunny today. High today of 91 with a 40% chance of showers. Tomorrow we have a greater chance of rain, 60% chance of showers on Friday, partly sunny and high tomorrow near 90. The Omaha River blows at 7.7 feet and falling, 76 degrees here in southeast Georgia. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Republic Services, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, and by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup next to the railroad tracks. Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good? Good. All right. And it's just, you think about all the tragedies that's happened in the last 2-3 days here in the state of Georgia and around the nation, with the shooting up in Washington, D.C., and then here locally in our state of Georgia with the 2 fugitives that are still out there somewhere, and then that disgruntled worker out west who decided to go off the deep end, apparently, after working too much overtime. What's going on, Bobby? What is it with all these folks?
I have no idea.
And it's just I don't know. I mean, it's hard to understand. Yeah, I'm working too much overtime, so I'm going to go allegedly, kill some people, or some person that doesn't agree with your politics and decides that, I'm going to take out a few of the opposition there. And then, here locally in the state of Georgia, you've got those 2 guys who overpowered the guards. Why they killed them, I have no idea. And now they're still on the loose. So everybody's looking at what you said, that Ford white 250, right? Ford 250, a white one?
That's what they believe they're in right
now.
now.
And they say it's got some damage to one of the panels on it and everything. So Ford F-250 white truck they stole after they ditched the car they stole first.
Right. 2008 Ford F-250, license tag BCX5372. And they believe that's the vehicle they're in at this time. So it's still looking for those 2 suspects, 43-year-old Donnie Russell, 24-year-old Ricky DeBose. The reward's up to $115,000. GBI offering that reward for any information leading to their capture. So, hopefully they'll catch them. But they've been on the run now since Tuesday. Today's the 3rd day in the search for the 2 escaped inmates.
Yeah, they could be a long way away.
And the situation in Wando is just a sad thing. So thank goodness for the officers, because they said those officers had not returned fire and took action, there's no telling how many of those congressmen would have been shot and killed on that softball field or baseball field, whatever.
The field there where the Republicans were supposed to be playing the Democrats in a softball, baseball game. Now, you pronounce his name, Representative Scalise, isn't it? Scalise. Okay. And the reason why the policemen were there was the fact because of him, because of being the House Majority Whip. If he hadn't have been there, there would have been no policeman there. But they protect him, in a sense, because he's the House Majority Whip. And that's the reason why they were there. If he hadn't been there, then it's like one representative said, it could have been even more of a disaster.
Apparently, the softball game is out there tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, they played at Major League Ballpark. They raised a lot of money for a lot of charities, and they were talking to some of those other players. They said they're definitely going to be there to play in that game. But again, just a sad story. You know, this man, from the interviews they had with people, he just walked up and talked to one guy and asked if it was a Democratic or Republican Party game, and they said there were Republicans out there, and then he started shooting. So
yeah, Republicans and Democrats out there. You know, he started asking, "Are you a Republican? You a Democrat? What's going on?" I mean, it's just.
This was just a Republican practice.
Just a Republican practice. It was a practice. It wasn't the game getting ready. It was just a practice.
They're getting ready for their game against the Democrats. Okay. So
that's just there's been a lot of ugly, mean, spiteful, hateful rhetoric out there in the news and social media since President Trump's been elected, and everybody's got free speech, but you can't go out there and do something like this. That's just you don't understand what's going through someone's mind when they're doing this. I mean, you really don't. I understand from listening to Fox News this morning on our radio station here that he's had some issues in the past with the law and neighbors and stuff like that. But what makes that person step over that line and do something like that is just not understandable. But he was killed by the police there, and the shooter in was it California out there was somewhere who was the Federal Express UPS guy, and he was even dressed in his uniform, his brown uniform, but he was upset because he was having to work too much overtime. You just go in there and say, "Hey, I don't want to work any more overtime." You just wonder what's going on, Bob. You really do. But here in the state of Georgia, they could be that white Ford 250 out there bebopping around the state somewhere. So keep an eye out. And but do you think they're still in the state, or you think they've moved on, or what?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Just hope they find them. Because they said they're armed and dangerous. And I said the guy that they hijacked the Honda Civic, he's unfortunate. They don't say who this person is, but fortunately he was not injured. But when they first escaped, they stole another vehicle, hijacked a car, and I said that guy, that was a Honda Civic. They eventually carjacked the driver, a green 2004 Honda Civic, and were traveling in that vehicle before ditching and stealing the white 2008 Ford F-250. So, again, fortunately, the person that they stole the Honda Civic from was not injured. So
that's good.
That's good news. But again, these two men are extremely dangerous. Again, one was serving, I think both of them were serving life in prison. So again, hopefully they'll find him quickly. So I'm sure they're getting all kinds of leads. I'm sure people see something. But just sad that those two correction officers were shot and killed. So again, both had been in law enforcement for quite some time. Correction officers, again, 40-year-old Christopher Monica, 58-year-old Curtis Blue. Monica had worked for the facility for nearly 8 years after being hired in October 2009. Blue was nearing his 10th anniversary with the facility after being hired in July 2007. I'm sure they both have families, and they don't really have any details about that, but I can't imagine what those families are going through at this time. So just a very sad story.
Well, they broke out. Whether they stole any money or wallets or anything from the guards, we don't know. But eventually they'll give out of money if they did steal any. So sooner or later, if they're on the run, they've got to buy gas, they've got to buy food, and all that kind of stuff. So especially those two things. So if they do pull up anywhere, There's video cameras everywhere these days. But hopefully they'll be called soon.
Doesn't happen very often, but most people who plan escape routes normally have people trying to help them. So, that's what you see all the time. When they do find these people, you'll have people being arrested for aiding and abetting.
So, yeah.
Hopefully they'll find those two people soon, and hopefully no one else will be shot or killed. So it was just a lot of craziness going on.
A lot of craziness all at the same time here. It's just, and then have you seen pictures of that that apartment building in London that burnt? I mean, talking about a towering inferno. I mean, geez. I mean, the pictures of that just makes your heart break for all the folks that were involved in that, and of course the families and friends of the folks who died in that blaze. I mean, it was wicked. Folks, if you haven't seen pictures of it, we don't have to, but you can see why so many people were killed in that. It was just a sad situation over there in London. Hopefully soon, all this bad stuff will stop here, and we're going to go get a little bit better news coming out. Please recap what happened in Jessup out in Seminole Woods last night. Do you have any idea what happened next to Seminole Woods last night? Have any idea? Bob can look into that. I don't know what happened to Seminole Woods last night here in Jessup, but if it's newsworthy, Bob will get with the police and find out. Well, Dennis Rodman's back over in North Korea and trying to do what he can to help the relations between North Korea and the United States. Bob, what do you think about that?
No comment.
No comment.
I don't want to go there.
No, he's over there trying to open doors, create dialogue, Bob. Showing the fact that Americans are not bad people, that, let's all just, get together around the campfire, sing Kumbaya, and can't we all just get along?
Dennis Rodman is one of those players whose elevator doesn't go to the top floor.
According to Bob. Remember, folks, if you have any questions or comments for us here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, you can text us. Our regular business line and studio line is text-enabled, 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. If you have any questions or comments at all, you can text us with those. They'll pop up right here on our computer screen, and we'll read the question or comment, as long as it's decent. As long as it's decent. Well, you got all your Wayne County, you got the Final Four T-shirt on, got the state championship cap on. You got all those souvenir items for those 5 weeks, didn't you?
Without a doubt. It was a great time. I said going to the 7-on-7 today, 9:30, Wayne County taking on Long County at the high school, so going to watch that. So
say that again, please.
7-on-7.
7-on-7.
Yeah, it's just a passing drill. It's a passing competition, but they have several during summer. The first one today at 9:30 at the high school, taking on Long County.
Oh, 9:30 this morning at the high school field or the high school practice field?
High school practice field.
Practice field. Okay.
Coach Pollock used to be at Long County, another head coach at Whissey, and used to be in Appleton County for years, and also Bragg Thompson, who was with Wayne County the last couple of years, now the offense coordinator over at Long County. He'll be here today, so look forward to seeing him. Good guy. So this should be a fun competition, Wayne County, Long County. So,
okay. 7-on-7.
7-on-7. Like I said, you got a quarterback, got a center, you got a running back, and 4 receivers. Basically, it's just a passing competition.
And you have you got the 7 defense. Can they rush? Of course,
they actually count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, stuff like that. It's like playing street football. But it's basically just to work on passing routes and things like that.
The timing down.
But the defensive backs are trying their best to prevent.
Right.
So it's just, it's good work for your offense and defense. It's just
they're really hard-hitting, tackling, that kind of stuff.
None of that.
You don't want any injuries.
Right.
You're just trying to get the timing down.
It's just it's a passing competition. Quarterbacks get a lot of good work, got a lot of good reps in throwing the ball. So
there'll be a lot of 7-on-7 competitions the next month or so.
Saturday they go to McIntosh for the annual Allen Bailey has a camp down there. 6 teams will be down there competing this Saturday. So again, it's a full summer schedule, a lot going on. But the first one's today here at the high school practice facility, 9:30, Long County, Wayne County, 7-on-7.
Okay.
They're just fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the Georgia High School Association allows these kind of activities. It helps improve the skills of the players. And if you do that, you cut down on injuries. I didn't realize this, but it just said that Dennis Rodman on his trip said he hoped he would open a door for his former Celebrity Apprentice boss, President Donald Trump. Remember, Dennis Rodman was on Celebrity Apprentice at one time?
I try to forget.
You try to forget that? I really don't ever watch it, but I know the show.
Dennis Rodman was a great basketball player in the Hall of Fame. But other than that, athletes are athletes.
Yeah. Well, he looked like a fishing lure at one time. He had so many piercings and that kind of stuff.
Dennis Rodman just wants to be in the news, so this is his publicity stunt. Doesn't get much publicity. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for Dennis Rodman to improve relations with anybody, you're looking at the wrong person.
Someone just said, how about some fun news? Yes, let's do some fun news, you know. It says Google has brain freeze. Check out the kid. Brain freeze is bad. Do you ever eat something so cold so fast that your brain just starts hurting? You never had brain freeze? Never brain freeze? Man. Jeez. I remember when I was in the junior high school down in Jacksonville, after school, there's a certain club, group, or whatever sold what are they called? The ice cones. You know, where you have the ice and then you put the different flavor on top of it, whether orange or grape or whatever. And you could stand there and eat those before you got on your bus. And of course, you know, you're trying to eat them somewhat quickly because your bus may come up at any moment. And I remember getting brain freezes left, right, forwards, and backwards. And so you just gotta be very careful with that. When you're eating cold stuff, eat slowly. Are you a slow eater, Bob?
I'm not as slow as Greg Walker. Greg Walker's the slowest eater in America. I eat pretty quick.
Oh, do you?
I said I'm always on the run, so I try to digest my food. I try to enjoy it, but I'm not as slow as. And I told that story, deal with Walker. I'm done my entire meal. He's still preparing his salad to eat it. I mean,
you're through eating, he's still preparing. And the thing about it is, Greg Walker eats a lot of food. He's a big guy. And so, what is it, about an hour-long meal when you're with Greg?
It's probably longer than that.
Probably longer than that?
He takes his time, for sure.
Well, he's like the French. The French are like that. They just cannot believe how fast Americans eat. They enjoy their meal. They take their time. They talk. They converse. They put the food in their mouth, put the fork down or whatever, and chew on it like we're supposed to, instead of shoveling it in. Someone just texted in, did our school board, propose bonus incentives for teachers and academic achievements, or our priorities focus solely on sport achievements? I know somebody did that yesterday, and I talked to someone in the know, and they said, all these coaches are teachers, and they do get paid, paid for that. What these are, incentives are for extra activities, taking time away from their family, putting in extra time. And then the more, as you well know, the more you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. So you hope the coaches, put a lot of time into it so these kids can win district championships, region championships, and move on into the playoffs and move on. So the incentives, it seemed like to me from the board, was for all this extra work that they put in addition to being a teacher or just what they receive as a regular salary for being a coach, right?
Just please listen to the newscast and listen to Ken Cribb's presentation.
Right. He covers that.
He's been doing this a long time. Like I said, it's hard to keep good people. If you have to keep good people, you have to give them some incentive. These coaches spend hours upon hours and do a lot of things. And he just wants to build a program where he has good people and he can maintain good people. He says that it's about retaining good people. In order to retain good people, there has to be some incentive clause.
Right.
So text like that, there's no need to respond to that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you hope every single teacher out there, and every single teacher out there wants to do their best job they can, so their students can make good grades and achieve and make those A's and B's and move on to whatever type of a thing they want to do after high school. But these incentives are for all the extra time. The coaches get paid a supplement for being a coach in whatever sport. They also get paid as a teacher. But then as they move in, as Coach Cribb said, as they move into the playoffs, they're not paid for that. That is extra time you put in, and the more successful you are, the more you move to the playoffs, the more time you're putting in.
Our supplements for coaches, as he says in the interview, does not compare to other places. We're way below the bar when it comes to that. So he's trying to do what he can to maintain good people.
Right, and good people,
he
teachers and coaches.
He made that clear at the board meeting after this playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
People came and wanted Coach McDonald to come be their head baseball coach. Right. They didn't want to lose Coach McDonald. Coach McDonald didn't want to leave Wayne County, but
right,
there has to be some incentive.
There has to be some incentive to stay, or you lose the good people.
That's why they made it retroactive, right, so they could reward him for that run. And he's been here quite some time. I think he's going on his 7th year as head coach. He's been here almost 10, 12 years. They don't want to lose good people. So in order to maintain good people, there has to be some incentive to keep those good people. So that's what the plan was. The board embraced it. They listened to Coach Cribb, who's been doing this, like you said, a long time, and that was his plan. So they approved the plan, and I think it's a good plan. Something he's worked on for quite some time. So,
and other counties do the same thing.
But like I said, you can, if you didn't miss the newscast and sportscast just today, you can go back and listen to that. You can listen to more of it today on the newscast as well.
Okay, you can go to the bigdogcountry.com, and go to the where it says Bob Morgan Local News, and listen to yesterday's podcast of the news and sports. And you can listen to today's newscast and sportscast around 12:15 and 5:10. And then later on after that, it'll be podcast. So you can listen to all the explanations of what they do here. All right, let's see here. Someone said there was a shooting in Seminole Woods last night. Someone said there was a shooting in Seminole Woods. All right, somebody else just texted in. I'm sure if teachers stayed until 7 p.m. each night and getting home after midnight on game nights, then something would be done. Okay, that's another text on that. Most teachers leave at 4 p.m. each day, while coaches are just getting their second half of their day started. Just be with these coaches, follow them around, see the hours and effort they put in, and especially what they do for many of these athletes out there, extra and above just being a coach. Teachers got a week paid vacation. They missed the week of work due to hurricanes and didn't make up a day. All right, these are just texts coming in from folks out there making comments about the incentives and what's going on there. Well, Bob, what do you think about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor in a boxing match? They say that Floyd will win because he's experienced at boxing. This is a boxing match. It's not MMA. No kicking, no grabbing, no hugging.
I'm sure it'll be a big pay-per-view event. People have been wanting to see this for quite some time, but I'd have to go with Floyd money.
Yeah, I'd have to go for it. It's in a boxing match.
Do you remember what's the old joke they used to tell, this teacher and coach argument?
Oh, you want to go back to that?
Well,
I was trying to get away from it.
Somebody made a comment, and 30,000 people don't come watch English class.
Well, the most important thing, of course, is
coaches are based on wins and losses. They can lose their job if they don't succeed.
Right. They can lose their job if they don't succeed.
Are teachers fired for pass-fail students? I mean,
no.
Teachers are teachers, coaches coach. Coaches are teachers first, and then coaches say, they just run an incentive plan for all the hours they put in, just like this off-season conditioning program and off-season, Right. All these teachers, are they doing, they're home enjoying their vacation. Coaches are spending time, like they said, away from their family, and they're spending hours upon hours. Like I said, if they push the time clock, get paid by the hour, they'd all be millionaires. This is just something they want to give as an incentive to maintain good coaches. That was the
for all the extra work they put in and for succeeding.
Plan for this new athletic director and head football coach who arrived at Wayne County and looked at the budget, looked at what was going on. That's his plan. Again, the board approved it by a 4-1 vote on the incentive plan, 5-0 on the budget. So
Okay, just for all the extra work they put in.
You're comparing apples and oranges.
It's two different things.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
why
two different things.
there's no sense even responding to those kind of text messages because it doesn't even equate to what we're talking about.
Okay, well, that's it. 8:31. Anything else in your mind before we mosey out of the Butch and Bob show? All right, Bob, have a good day. All right, the world famous Butch and Bob show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Broad Street next to the railroad tracks in downtown Jessup, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Republic Services, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. 8:30.